Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Girard Newkirk, the co-founder and CEO of Genesis Block. Gerard brings a fascinating mix of expertise in blockchain, renewable energy, and community economic development, with experience founding KWH Coin and now driving initiatives to empower minority and women-owned businesses in Wilmington, North Carolina. Based in Wilmington, Genesis Block, founded in 2019, is revolutionizing how small businesses access training, incubation, and networking opportunities through programs like Genesis Block Academy, Block Eats, and Genesis Bridge. We'll be exploring his founding story, how his business empowers clients in the entrepreneurial space, and his vision for scaling this impact-driven venture with concepts like Newkirklytics. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. Gerard, welcome to Founders Future.
Thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me, my friend.
Absolutely, man. A pleasure. Yeah, a pleasure and an honor. You're doing so much, and it's an incredible background that you have. So truly a pleasure to have you on the show and having a wonderful conversation. So if we can start at the top, Gerard, for our listeners, talk us through what specific problem in the small business and entrepreneurial landscape really inspired you to start Genesis Block.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. For me, I was born and raised in rural Pender County here in North Carolina, very small town, population less than 2,000. I always had big dreams about entrepreneurship, but never really saw a pathway. And then throughout college, I went through college, I got promoted to Macy's to be a vice president store manager out in Silicon Valley and Santa Clara. And I got out there and I was just floored, man, at the opportunity. And it just hit me all of a sudden, everything that I dreamt about all of those years. The vision started to come together. And I was in a lot of startup communities out there, and I saw how innovation and how clustering people together, like minds together, is really how you build companies. And I looked at Silicon Valley and I was like, man, my community really needs this.
Yes.
My neighborhood, actually, I need to build a neighborhood type economy similar to the way I saw the Silicon Valley emerge from companies being built and spinning off other subsidiaries, those founders then building other ventures. So the real vision was, how can I do that, or how can I create that, but for the Main Street economy or the neighborhood economy is really what Newkirklytics is getting into. And so the journey started for me about August 4th, 2016. I put that on my LinkedIn post, and that's when I got my download from the universe, almost like setting up this digital system that would use blockchain as the shared infrastructure. And it would be multifaceted, but it would be grouped on how can we create a digital economy that's accessible to Main Street, the diaspora, the global South, entrepreneurs that haven't had connectivity in a lot of areas are underserved, under-resourced, haven't had the coaching, capital access, or contract readiness training. So the real vision was, how do we do that block by block? Hence the term Genesis Block. How do we create a scalable model to essentially bring prosperities to communities in a modern way, community by community, block by block, empowering them with the digital tools to be successful. So that was the brainstorm, the framework, what the last 9 years and my journey and my multiple ventures in entrepreneurship have gotten me to this point now where I'm at now with Newkirklytics, which is like an entire economic principle book on how to rebuild Main Street and diaspora communities and the global South. And then I'm starting a technology company, Newkirklytics, which is 8 apps and platforms that are going to form like the operating system for the Main Street economy. So what Bloomberg is to Wall Street, Newkirklytics is going to be for the Main Street economy, the neighborhood economy.
Incredible.
That's the vision.
That is a beautiful vision at that, to really be bringing the communities together and expanding and delivering high quality training to them to level up in their life and their career. So with that, I would love to get into the nuts and bolts of what you're doing with Genesis Block today, especially around how you're generating revenue. So if you can walk us through the core offer. I know you do entrepreneur training programs, incubation services, procurement. What is the real core offer there? What's the main focus for you, and who is the ideal client that you're working with right now?
Yeah, our main focus is in our advisory services. We're starting a contract now with the city of Jacksonville. There's so many communities, especially here east of 95, south of I-10, and southeastern part of the United States, that understand now that entrepreneurship and small business development is going to be essential to them building sustainable economies.
Yes.
So we work with a lot of institutional clients like the North Carolina Department of Transportation, NCDOT. We do a lot of training programs. We do a lot of pipeline development and helping large organizations build procurement pipelines. I would say for us, this is where we've seen the biggest opportunity, and it's more of an advisory service, but now we build out technology stacks to support that. For example, I think the clearest example is in the city of Jacksonville. Our real focus is to build, they're working on a downtown revitalization project. So we're getting companies pipeline. So right now, their downtown area is a bit challenging, having about 65, 70% vacancy rates. So we're building a pipeline of entrepreneurs to fill in those locations, but they also are home to Camp Lejeune and New River Air Station. So the vision is we're going to build a digital procurement system to get these entrepreneurs capitalized, using that procurement as community investment. And then they can now funnel the pipeline of new businesses to come and power downtowns. So a lot of what we're doing is we have 12 pilot projects coming up over the next 6 months. So the next 6 months for us is going to be testing a lot of our technology and integrating it in. We're building our Genesis Bridge platform and our other tech stacks. So our model is going to shift more to providing advisory services and then supporting that with data products and also operationalization tools as we build community by community.
Incredible. Incredible. So on that side, Gerard, is this something where the rest of this year is going to be focused just on those kind of pilots and you're not really looking to bring on more clients, or are you still looking to grow and scale while doing those pilots? What's that next 6 months?
That's what we're organizing now. Because for me, our next 6 months is going to be the most exciting that we've had in our 5 years, but it's probably going to be the most daunting. I'm actually planning now because on one side, we're building the technology. And then the book Newkirknomics launches on the 4th of August. So we're going to be doing a 40 city and rural community tour over the next 6 to 9 months, sharing Newkirknomics in communities all across the country, especially in the Southeast, Appalachia, and the Mississippi Delta, and the HBCUs, to show them how we can help build this connected infrastructure for the neighborhood economy. So that's going to take time. And then our pilot projects a lot of them are going to be in Jacksonville, but we also have one at Fayetteville State University, at Howard University. And then we have 2 projects here in Wilmington, which are already connected to existing clients. So we are going to have to almost, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? We're going to have to change the spare tire on the bus as we're moving. Because we're building our capital base and our contract base, but we also need to level up and get more employees. So I'm listening to a lot of advisors now and getting a lot of best practices because I'm in a new space myself now.
Absolutely. So talk us through, as far as acquisition, what's working best for you there? How are you getting clients right now? What channels have been most effective, and what challenges are you having bringing clients in?
That's a great question. The biggest challenge that we've had is people understanding our model. So I'm glad you started with that model, and I'm glad now that we're building more technology around what we do so that we can really emphasize that we're helping. Essentially, we're the operating system for the neighborhood economy. That really helps us a lot. The biggest challenge is communities understanding that we're there to augment what's happening existing in their ecosystem, not try to take it over. We're trying to enhance it, to build a shared digital infrastructure, to continue to augment and build pipelines for more and more entrepreneurs, to get more and more information, to provide more and more core resources, and to do that better. Over the last year, we've had a lot of communities reaching out to us. Myrtle Beach, which is south here of Wilmington, conversating with them now, in Fayetteville State. HBCUs now are starting to reach out to us because we're building a research to market pathway by developing incubators for them using our entrepreneur training tools. And because we have such a large network of anchor organizations that we work with, we can then pair them with procurement opportunities. So that's really what our vision is, to build this massive procurement network, this research to market pathway for entrepreneurs, especially in HBCUs and colleges and universities, and then providing things like our neighborhood economy index. That's going to be an index just to measure the pulse, the business health of local businesses, neighborhood businesses, to almost be like I was saying before, like a Bloomberg for Main Street, what Bloomberg is doing for Wall Street. We want to be the data profile to capture all these metrics for Main Street. So we're working with UNCW Swain Center, Dr. Katabi, one of our local regional economic specialists, on how can we build this neighborhood economy index so that now communities all across the country will have the right data to measure what matters in order to build their policy and their governance.
Absolutely. It's just incredible across the board there, and really changing the game with what you're doing here, Gerard. So amazing on that front. Is this something that, Gerard, right now you're doing as a solopreneur? Do you have a team behind you, a sales team, marketing team? What does that sales process look like?
Yeah, we have three now. We have a sales team of three. So total of it, we have about 8 people when it comes to our partners, our curriculum development, our marketing team, and then our technology team now is almost starting over and building new conceptually. We had technology partners to develop Genesis Bridge and some of our other tools. We finished our digital learning academy, Block Biz Excellence Academy. So we have some of our technology stack complete. But now that we're going to connect and we're going to build this blockchain infrastructure, our technology team now is really where we're rebuilding. But as far as the other component parts, we're going to be growing as we go and expand to our hubs model, because we want to develop a hub in Howard, develop a hub in Fayetteville State University. Yeah. So we know we'll need 3 to 4 people on site to manage the data capture and build our pipelines in those locations. So we almost know where we're going, but this next 6 months for us is going to see, as we go out to these different cities on this tour, our vision is have a 60-day MOU for that becoming a Newkirklytics hub, so we can now deploy our tech stack and start capturing data. So we'll see how that goes. This is a new model. It's something that we're testing out for the first time. So there definitely isn't any historical data to build anything off of. So we're really taking it slow, making a lot of mistakes so we can iterate in real time.
Absolutely. So with that, I want to touch back on the acquisition a bit. Are you doing anything, or have you done anything around ads and the social media side for a bit more predictability? What's going on that front?
Yeah, we run a lot of, we have a Zoho suite, so we do a lot of our own programming suite of apps as far as our social media. We are going to do more paid advertising with the book launch, and we're doing more advertising in smaller niche markets that we feel where we have traction. For example, places, we think cities that have a population between 75 and 150,000, port cities with high quality of life, or have some type of anchor like a HBCU health system. We feel that those are the areas where our systems can be most value added to build the neighborhood economy, because they have an anchor asset that we can build our procurement off of to be as a baseline for entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs, to build their businesses from. But so we're going to do more target marketing in those locations. And we started that this month. So we're doing some targeted ads in those cities that we're going to be going to as part of the tour to get ahead of it.
Amazing. Amazing. So with that there, talk to me about some bottlenecks that you're thinking about. Obviously, this is such a new concept and really bringing this out. What are some bottlenecks that you're trying to break through, whether that be on the predictability side for more lead gen and clients coming in, or on the sales side? What are you thinking about on that front that needs to be solved?
I think the biggest challenge is, how do we enter markets? That's like, what is our access point? So we do a lot of events as well. So we do what we call a Main Street mapping event. This is now converted to Newkirknomics Live, where we invite anchor institutions, large organizations, all of the local economic development players. We try to get them in one room to map what do they want their entrepreneurship ecosystem to look like for the next 3 to 5 years. And we feel that for us is a lead magnet, and that gives us an access point to use some of our tools and offer some of our best practices in hopes to continue the conversation and get that into a pipeline. I think that's our biggest challenge now is, and the coherency now on what our new model is and how we are value add as a technology partner as well. Those are where we have some people that we interact with. We have about 40 existing clients that are institutional partners. So transitioning them to understand a lot of the work that we did the first 4 to 5 years was more civic oriented. It was more community building, ecosystem gathering, and to convert them now to look at us as developing products and tools now that are solutions oriented is where our challenge is. I would say that's probably the biggest challenge that we're facing now, is how we convert them now to looking at us more like an IBM type partner versus a community engagement partner.
I love it. I absolutely love that. With that, I do want to have a couple more questions for you before going to
Sure.
the lightning round. And that the one question I want to hear from you on it is the vision. Obviously, we have a good taste of what you're looking to get done this year, but
Yeah.
really walk us through the rest of 2025. What are you laser focused on to really get
Yeah.
this block to where you want it to go?
So for me, I call it the five P's.
Mm,
So it's really good. Five P's are people, pilots, platforms, podcasts, and publishing. Really establishing the infrastructure around those kind of five, just to make it really simple. That's our next 18 to 24 months. We know Newkirknomics, the book, publishes on August 4th. Our really big global launch of our technology systems is going to be September 25th through 27th at Howard University at the Black Blockchain Summit. And I'll be a speaker there, and we'll be going over talking about our tech stack, looking for global partners and really digging into it. And then in October, we start the 40 city tour. It's going to be comprised of different cities all across the country. Like I said before, east of 95 here in southeastern North Carolina, but also Mississippi Delta, Appalachia, a little bit in the Caribbean. To basically that to be the gateway into our Newkirklytics hubs, which is our model. Our model is to go in and essentially become like an economic intelligence system for your local economy. But we do that brokered. We start out by, first of all, getting our five principles, getting the entrepreneurs ready, using the procurement as the baseline for the fuel of these local entrepreneurship ecosystems, helping them understand all these other things. So for us, the next 24 months is that 40 city tour, trying to establish 15 hubs by the end of 2026. And then by the end of 2027, having 50 hubs. And then by the end of 2029, having 100 hubs. So it will be 100 Newkirklytics hubs throughout Main Street location, HBCUs, the Caribbean, the diaspora communities, and the global South. And then from that will power the neighborhood economy.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So with that, I do want to take us into the lightning round. This is phenomenal where your head is as a founder and what you're doing with blockchain and with just as a whole, what you're bringing to the table here is truly captivating. I know our listeners are loving this. On the closing lightning round side, I would love to hear about a tool or a resource that you're using, Gerard, whether it's a blockchain insight, a community building strategy, an AI tool.
Oh,
What can you
man.
say has been the biggest game changer?
Oh my God, so many AI tools, man. Gamma's really helped us out. I can get with Gamma.
Yeah.
I can get out so much of what we do conceptually is hard to explain in a conversation. You almost have to bullet it out. So that's helped a lot. Zoho, using that, we use about 26 applications now, being able to consolidate because we had so many different events, platforms, institutional partners. We were able to build one for pipeline, one just for CRM. For this segment, we were able to segment a lot of things out. Another tool that we've been using is Click. This is fairly new for me, but my team has been just killing it with it. So it's helped us to get a lot more organized. So we've been trying to get we're a small team. So we want to get as many AI tools or technology tools that allow us to become more efficient and proficient and can deliver what we call grade A material. Because really now we really want to change our content from looking amateurish to having a much higher level of professionalism. So we've been working with a lot of tools, content related AI tools as well.
I love it. I love it. And then last but not least here, Gerard, what is the best piece of advice that you could offer to our listeners tuning in, just heard your incredible story and your journey? What can you leave them with before we wrap up today?
I think it all begins, and this is going to may sound a little, I don't know, it may sound a little corny, but I believe in following your heart, man. I think if I look back to, I put this on my LinkedIn post. I put a picture from that August 4th, 2016 download. So I looked at, and this is why it's so significant with the August 4th launch of the book. And I look at all the twists and turns, and a lot of the twists and turns that I was making was fear-based. It was a coping mechanism to not talk. I used to be afraid to talk about the things that I just talked about, digitizing procurement, building these new models and these new systems, because very few people were talking about it. But now that I've had so many years in the space and I've worked one-on-one, I've had hundreds of hours with entrepreneurs and taught cohorts and been in communities and built things from the ground up, that now it's more genuine knowledge can only be attained via direct experience. And so allow yourself to have that experience, allow yourself to have your fails or first attempts in learning, and take that and understand that's going to be a pathway towards your vision really unfolding. Because everything now that I look back that I thought was an L from 9 years ago, and I was like, oh, that was actually perfect.
Absolutely. I love that. I love it. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. And Gerard, truly cannot thank you enough for coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey and your insights with us today. Clear as day, you are on a different level, and just the passion and the drive that you have truly was an honor and a pleasure to have the conversation with you. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And also check out Genesis Block at genesisblockilm.com for their entrepreneur programs. And you can also check us out here at closers.io for more resources and insights, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.